Hello there. What's going on, everybody? We're getting some new stuff for X-Wing to accessorize your game. Speaking of accessories, if you head over to luxuryplaystyle.com, you can check out some of their amazing new X-Wing tokens, which are really absolutely top of the line. Definitely check those out. And if you use my code Crabbok VIP, you're going to save 15%. So head over to luxuryplaystyle.com and check them out. So, X-Wing has announced some new damage decks today, speaking of blinging out your game, and this is pretty cool because these are the larger style damage decks, and they're going to make them for every single faction. You'll be able to get your own damage deck to play your preferred faction, or if you play multiple factions, you can get multiple damage decks, and it's a very cool little thing that they've got going on here because not only are they making it faction specific, but they're also putting a ship from each faction on the damage deck and to show you where on the ship you're actually getting hit. So what I want to do is kind of liken this to the early pre-order damage decks that they came out with for X-Wing 2nd Edition. So if you're not familiar, X-Wing has the little mini card damage decks, and these were really like the last bastion of mini cards in X-Wing 2.0, because the old 1.0 used to have those small upgrade cards, but then when they went to 2.0 they got rid of the upgrade cards that were small and they made all the upgrade cards full size. The only cards that were left over in that small category from the days of X-Wing 1.0 were the damage decks. However, if you got yours at Gen Con, or I think if you pre-ordered directly from FFG, and maybe some select retailers, you got the full-size damage deck as well. And this one, so you can see the size. It's basically you just take this thing, flip it, and stack it 3 more times, and that's about the same size. You see it's kind of flipped there. But these other damage decks, they have the same back as the original damage deck, and this is the kind that I have right here as well. And as you can see, the backing of this thing is not a faction specific, although it looks kind of like what the Rebels have going on there. On the inside, you've got a T-65 X-Wing, and depending on where you get hit, it has a picture showing you different parts of the wounded engine. It shows the engine, and so the cool thing is basically wherever you get hit on the ship, it's going to have some fancy artwork to show you like really where on the ship you get hurt. So the reason they didn't go with a T-65 X-Wing for this Rebel specific one is because that promo damage deck that was for the day one of X-Wing 2.0 featured the T-65. So I don't think they wanted to screw over those people or whatever. Like, personally, I don't mind, because it's still a different one because it's got the original back on it, and I don't mind. You guys can have the same thing that I can have. It doesn't matter to me as far as this. But I think this was supposed to be exclusive, so that's how they're doing that. So the new one for the Rebels is going to have a Y-wing, which is fairly iconic of the Rebels. For the Empire, they're going with the TIE Interceptor, which is a very good choice, and also a really nice backing for these. I think now you can use these for any faction. Like, there's no rule that says, oh, if you're using an Imperial damage deck, you have to run an Imperial list. You can buy whichever one you want. It's purely cosmetic. There's no need to absolutely have these, but it's a great idea to have them because a lot of people do not sleeve their damage decks, and maybe your damage deck gets torn or worn out, or maybe you lose a card and all of a sudden now you're in violation or something like that. It's just a really good idea, and I hope they do this for other games as well. I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments below. There is still time to enter to win the giveaway too. All you have to do is be a subscriber and leave a comment, and you can win that $100 Amazon gift card. And that's going to be running for a couple more days, so you still got time left to answer that. For Scum, we get a nice little Scum color palette here. And we have our Mando fighter there, the Fang, which is looking pretty good. So I think they're trying to go with some very recognizable stuff. And I have a feeling we'll see a little bit more Mandalorian stuff in the not-too-distant future based on the Mandalorian coming out for Disney Plus this November. So that's very exciting as well. Now, we do get an X-Wing on our Resistance, but this is a T-70 X-Wing, so slightly different. But you're getting your black and orange here, which is very, very Poe-ish. The funny thing is, in X-Wing 2.0, there is no black and orange T-70 X-Wing, because that was just from the Heroes of the Resistance pack from X-Wing 1.0, and so anybody you see flying those either has it repainted or is using the old X-Wing 1.0. It makes me wonder if they're going to do another black and orange T-70. I feel like maybe they will, but I don't know. I don't know how necessary it is at this point. I feel like they'll do it though. For the Resistance, we're getting a tie. I think that looks like a tie SF with the antenna going up. But yes, we're getting our or is that just is that an a tie FO or a tie SF? You know, it's no, I think it's an SF. It says in the article that it's an SF, but at first glance I wasn't sure because that antenna is kind of hard to see. But yes, it's definitely an SF because the FO does not have the antenna there. And then for the Republic, I love it. I love the Republic. The Republic is my favorite faction right now. Yeah, we're getting our Republic colors and we're getting that Aether Sprite Delta 7. I love it. Very, very cool. And you know, and some of these ships appear to have a lot more parts visible. Like if you get like a damaged engine, they're gonna have a harder time showing it on a tie than than on a lot of other ships. But yeah, we're getting our Delta 7 there, and then we get a Vulture droid on our Separatist deck. So you've got a lot of different decks to choose from. It's pretty cool, and or you just stick with the one you got. But I love the idea that they're making certain accessories that you could only get in the core set available outside of the core set, because it thinks if you lose one card, the only way to get that replaced is to buy a whole nother $30 core set. And it's even more of a problem for other games. Like look at something like Star Wars Armada. I know a lot of people who have since that game has been around for so long, a lot of people who have lost a damage card or something like that, and they've said, how can I get another damage deck? And really the only answer has been buy a new core set. It's $100 part you just lost. So it's like, yeah, like having extra versions of everything be available is definitely the way to go. So I'm a big fan of this. I think it's very cool. I'd love to hear what you guys think is your favorite damage deck. And also I would love to hear if you think they should do this for other games. What other, starter box only accessories do you think that they absolutely need to make more things of? For me, another thing is those bases. Definitely want to see them do more with the cosmetic bases. How they had done that in 1.0. They had the large and the small bases, but they haven't done that in 2.0 yet. And there's some bases that are going to be different. We've got the medium ships that still don't have their cosmetic bases. I could use more medium ships. They've got those pegs that convert from large to small. I could use some more of those. And I feel like huge ships might even have their own specialty bases, and I would love to be able to get like a basing kit of all of one color. That'd be really, really cool. But love to hear what you guys have to say. That's all I've got for you for right now. Stay tuned because there's going to be a lot more X-Wing news. They're breaking down huge ships in a live stream, so definitely stay tuned for that. And if you're not able to catch it, I will be bringing to you highlights from that live stream as well. And then we've got Wave 5 coming out very soon, and probably some more news because there's just so much X-Wing stuff coming out. So definitely stay tuned. All right, guys, that's all I've got for you today. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and as always, have a great day.